y'all. We back with another one on Wednesday. I think we just had a little bit of technical technical difficulties, but yo, we back with another one on Wednesday. Today I have a special guest on. Well, that will be coming on. Normally we don't have that many pre-planned guests since we made the transition over to me and Coach Johnson, but we do have a guest on today. Okay, I start seeing my comments coming in. Hey Bree. Hey Naeem. Yeah, Naeem. We had technical difficulties. That's what you were supposed to pull up in. But like I was saying, yeah, I was just having some challenges over this past couple weeks. This little week that been going on lately, past couple days. All right, Bree, is it good now? Cause I know you said it was messing up. Hey Yo Yo, hey Sane, hey Tana, hey Gemma. Is it good now? Like, can y'all see it right and everything? Hey Dante. Hey Dante. Hey Kayla. Hey Nyasia. All right, yeah, all right, it's good. How everybody feeling? What's been going on this week? Give me the updates, all the tea, cause I don't be talking to all of y'all every day, so I want to see what's going on. Hey, Coach. Hey, Soul. Not Miss Zoni just left y'all high and dry. Y'all terrible. I'm dead. But yeah, what's been going on? What you mean it's not in order with the YouTube? So you can hear me? Is my voice not matching up with what y'all see? Is that what you mean? Kayla, don't be stressed out about the work. Don't be stressed out about the work, cause sometimes you just gotta have a good mindset, a good head on your shoulder. Because I did my little papers over like final week, last week, and the week before that, and you just gotta just pace yourself and just know the work will get done. You just need a little bit of pizzazz and some positivity going here in your mind, and take some breaks too. Because when you do things like straight through, you more likely to stress from them. School drain. Whoa, I don't even want to hear about school no more. I don't even want to hear about school. I got my final grades back, y'all. Well, not all of them. Oh, okay. Gemma said she spent $100 on canvas so she can paint or break and start building her portfolio more. That sounds good. Like you're gonna be growing and stuff. I've been excited to see like all of the stuff that you put up. Like when you put all of your things. Like I seen Lauren Hill in there. The dude of social media. I don't know. I honestly don't know who they was. But I seen that. I seen your little boomerangs, your murals. I'm excited. Jim, you can always drop what you think you're gonna be doing in the chat so we can know what's gonna be coming up. I gotta buy one because Elder probably like top tier in buying from Gemma, and like I feel like that's crazy because I didn't even buy one thing yet, so I need to buy one. So yeah, that's what's been going on. My special guest about to get on. We kind of gonna be sharing just a testimonial. I guess you can say today. And I'm excited to hear from her, and hopefully some of y'all jump on too. If y'all got any like other topic suggestions that we can do or anything like that, we can definitely have somebody get on and lead a session because I know y'all be tired of hearing just me or just Coach talking all the time. So I really want it to be where it's something. Not with the moves. I don't got no moves. I don't got no moves. I'm lying. So I got a lot of big stuff coming up, y'all. I gotta register Chaos Smoothies as a nonprofit. Then I had to register camps, consultations, the sessions, the leadership trainings that I was telling y'all about. Uh I got a lot of stuff to do. I gotta get my license before I leave. Yeah. I'm gonna be stressed out. That's the moves. That's the moves. The moves is growth and being a little stressed out while we doing it. But oh my god, can we do the Valentine's Sip and Paint? I will come back home for that. Cause I haven't went to the Sip and Paint since the summertime. And yeah. Yeah, Jim, I can still help people with their resumes. Tell them hit me up or DM me or anything like that. And I'm definitely willing to help. I only did a couple resumes, but they be good. Hey Ryan, are you new? Isn't it making already? College essays. All right, Ma, hit me up. Hit me up, Ma. What's missing out? Naeem, what you always missing out on? You could have went to gym and sip and paint. Then you get a free ticket one time. You just bluffing. Nayeja said she need help. You need help with a college essay, or you need help with a resume. Either or, just hit me up. DM me. Everybody know my Instagram. If you don't know my Instagram, yeah. But y'all, I'm about to get my special guest on here. Allow her to introduce herself or reintroduce herself, and share her spiel. So, Maya, can you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us why you on, and just get us started.
Hi, I'm Maya. Some of y'all might remember me. Some of y'all are new. My name is Maya. I also go by Poet. Um, hey, Lynette. Um, I'm here to discuss. I'm here to discuss taking charge over your medical health, not just mentally, but physically and spiritually as well. Um, nice to see y'all again. Hey, I missed y'all as well. Um, I kind of just want to start off with a question to see if any of y'all have ever felt like y'all were ignored in the medical industry or by a medical professional. Um, hey, y'all, hey. So if y'all could, write about that just to start off the conversation. I have a new kitten, so if you hear some noise in the background, that's her.
Oh, I can go ahead. For me, I personally haven't had no ways that I've been ignored as far as like the industry. Maybe like as far as like women's health.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like thinking about like OBGYNs and stuff like that. Like getting the representation that we need like in the city. I know in Atlanta they have a lot of like black OBGYNs, and it make it like easier for you to get care or like help will be treated from them. But like as far as in like the city, it's kind of a little bit, well, in Baltimore is a little bit different than Atlanta for me. And I feel like it's better to get help in Atlanta as far as like women's health with like OBGYNs and stuff like that.
True. Um, where there are more, populations of minorities, there are always going to be more, minority doctors. Um, if anybody else has a story they want to share, that's welcome. I'm welcoming a new kidney. Wait a minute, that threw me off. That threw me off. Lord, what did you talk about? Um, so what I'm here to do today, I did a presentation, like I had a slide set up, but I felt as though it kind of made it impersonal. And I want to talk to y'all like because y'all are my family. I've been with y'all for a minute now, so I don't want it to seem like I'm talking to a classroom or something. Um, I don't think I've had experience being ignored, but definitely misinformed. Yes, there's also a big issue as well as misdiagnosing patients, and something I really found. Yes, I have a new kitten. She will probably make her appearance in a minute or something, running past me or something. um, but like I was saying, um, minority, but not just minorities, but like minority women, as you were saying earlier, Cam. Um, children and elderly are the most overlooked in the medical industry in general. And knowing that fact is really hard trying to be an advocate, but not just an advocate, but trying to stand up for yourself as well. As y'all know, I dipped off a little bit in the middle, did a little MIA scene. And the reason that is because last year I was diagnosed with cancer, stage one. And so that was a lot to deal with. Um, Trying to deal with not only that and trying to process it and try to live with that fact that you have cancer and that's not something that's relatively seen in kids my age. Um, so doing that and dealing with that was really hard, and I had to, go back into myself and really think on what I wanted to do with this information and with everybody. There were people that were not so great about that news, really concerned, really overbearing. And I'm not used to being, really looked at, really looked at a lot. And so for people to start coming to me and like, you okay every day and stuff like that was a bit much for me. I'm really low key. I don't like a lot of people eyes on me. um, and I know that's weird to say, but it's true. So I really had to go within myself and figure out how I wanted to step forward with this news and this life changing thing. Um, and I really had to take a second. And everybody that's been around me and who knew Miss Joni, Miss Mo, all of y'all, I really thank y'all for not only supporting me but also giving me the space to move and grow and the welcoming hands to come back. Um, yeah, so like I was saying, I really want to talk about taking charge of your physical health, your spiritual health, as well as your mental health. I know here we talk about a lot of mental health, but I really want to focus on physical health. So, in my experience, I had a lot of pain, and I'm the type of person that ignore my pain a lot. I'll be sick and don't tell nobody that I'm sick. I'll just tough it out and just keep going with my day. But at some point, you got to realize that when your pain keeps getting worse and worse, you can't just keep being quiet and trying to tough it out, because that means that it's something more serious going on. And I had that realization. My stomach had started protruding, like getting larger, and it was very hard. Um, that was a sign to me that it was something more serious than just aches and pains from normal day tasks, um, or maybe a cold or whatever the case may be. So yes, when you realize that something is more going on, please take charge and say, okay, something else is going on here. I need to go see a medical professional, or I need to go tell my parents to take me to the doctor, or whatever the case may be. Please speak up. Know that you don't have to suffer in pain just because you think that, I don't know, going to your parents or going to the doctors is scary, or going to the doctors and saying that you're sick is a sign of weakness. It's not. It's a sign that you saying, I'm in pain and I need to be better. Please know that you do not have to suffer in pain or go through sickness and stuff alone. You really do not. Um, I'm sorry. um, Also, I want to say, in the medical field, sometimes you speaking up at the young age that you are, remember I said kids and elderly people are the most overlooked, as well as women. And I think that is because we're seen as less than or weaker. Um, Sometimes speaking up for yourself is not easy, especially with a doctor that thinks they went to school, they know it all, this, and the third thing. But having somebody's there to support you, um, and really being headstrong about how you feel and what's going on, because I've been to the doctors plenty of times and they have write off my pain or saying, oh, because you're this, that, and the third thing, that's why you're going through this. It's really not because of, the spider bite on your arm or the goddamn thing in your neck. It's really not that. It's because you're, whatever the case may be, obese, or because you're too skinny, or because you're not eating right, or because you're high blood pressure, whatever the case may be. Don't let them write off your pain as something that has nothing to do with it. They were, when I first went there, when I first went to the doctors, they kept trying to tell me it was PCOS. And PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And that means when you have cysts inside your ovaries, and inside the tubes, and that can cause missed periods or no periods at all, cause fatigue, weight gain, a whole bunch of things. and they was trying to tell me that that's what it was, and I just knew that that wasn't what it was. Like, so everything in me was like, that can't be what it is. It only matched maybe one or two of my symptoms. It did not match anything else. And so something told me to, and this is the worst thing to do, but I just looked it up on Google. Like, that's the worst thing to do when you're sick. Please do not follow after me, because that is the worst thing to do. It was so many popped up, whole bunch of symptoms. I'm like, okay, let me just go through this just to calm down my curiosity. And one of the things, sure enough, was cancer. And I was like, nah, can't be. Can't be. No, not me. And I know that's weird to say because anybody can get cancer, but you never hear about a child really, besides like not the cancer that I had. No kid really has, I'm sorry, no kid really has ever been as so far. Ovarian cancer is what I had. I'm sorry if I did not clarify that already. Ovarian cancer is what I had. You don't really hear about kids suffering from ovarian cancer. You hear about, brain cancer and other stuff like that. But you never really hear about that. So it was like, no, that can't be. But one day I was scrolling on Instagram, and you know how them ads pop up, for somebody's Instagram page or a group or something. An ad came up for a group for an Instagram page that supports um, ovarian cancer awareness. And I was looking at it and I was like, that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. I was just looking at that and then that was up on my Instagram. That's really not a coincidence. That's a sign. To me, that was a sign saying, okay, you've seen this twice. Your symptoms match. It's something going on. It's something telling you. I don't know what you want to call it, the universe, or if you want to call it destiny, or Jesus, however you define it. I felt like that was something telling me that this was something serious. And I went to my mother, I went to the doctor. I'm telling them, hey, look, I think this is something serious. This is how I feel it is. And at first, like I said, it's not very heard of. So they're like, oh no, it can't be. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, but I feel in everything in me that this is not, PCOS is not the answer. And for a second there, I did let them get to me. Oh yeah, you're right. This can't be it. Let me just go with the plan that we had at first, which is with the PCOS. But at some point, I felt as though, why am I being ignored? I'm telling you how I'm feeling, and you're just dismissing me as if my pain or my brain is not well defunctioned. Like, I'm telling you how I feel. At least sit down with me and tell me, oh, this can't be because this, that, and the third thing. Instead of explaining to me, you just wrote me off in general. So then I really had to have a conversation not only with my parent, but with the doctor and say, hey, listen, I do not like the way that y'all are writing me off. And I know that I'm a kid and you think that I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is how I feel. And I really need y'all to stick up for me as my mother and as my doctor. Y'all have my life in your hands. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a medical professional. But I need you to stick up for me. And I will not, I said this very promptly, I will not be one of those people that are mislooked or overlooked in the medical field. I won't. And that very day, they ordered me to go get a pelvic x-ray and an abdominal x-ray. And lo and behold, giant tumor right there. So if I would have not stood up for myself, that tumor it was very huge. It was all the way up in my abdominal cavity, pushing my organs around. That's how big it was. And if I would have never stood up for myself, that tumor could have spread. It could have took over my entire body. It could have, it could have exploded. Because that's how big it was. It was getting very huge. It would have been no more space in my abdominal cavity for it to fit. And during this, because I had to have surgery, um, and the organs that it was sitting on, they had become so like malnourished because, like I said, the tumor was very big, so it was taking a lot of my blood supply. Um, they had to cut out some of my organs because it was so dead from the tumor laying on it and taking my blood supply from all the rest of my body. So saying all that long story, excuse me, within saying all that long story, I really want to encourage everyone to speak up for what you feel. If you feel in your body that something's not right, it could be the littlest thing, a tickle in your throat. If that don't feel right to you, that's nothing you something you've never experienced before. You never experienced a tickle in your throat. Say something, please, because I could have been somebody that was looked over. You could be somebody that's looked over, and I would hate for that to happen to anybody, whether you're close to me or not. That's something so serious. Um, and even just like I said, being so young, I'm 20 years old. When that happened, I was 19. I was the youngest person on the surgery floor. I was the people couldn't even say my first name because I don't know why. But my middle name is Isabella. So instead of calling me Amaya, they called me Isabella to make me seem older. Because it was so weird for them to see someone so young on their surgery floor. And it's not just I know a physical thing, it's also a mental thing. When I got a surgery, even before surgery, they kept saying, "Oh, it's gonna be a big scar. It's gonna be a big scar." I don't know what y'all think is big, but big to me is about the length of my hand. That's big to me. So when I got our surgery and I finally looked down at the scar, it was huge. It was ginormous to me. It looked so big. And that really did something to my mental because I did not feel whole anymore. I felt like a piece of me was taken away. And I know that that piece was cancerous and it needed to be taken out, but that's still a loss for me. They had to take one of my ovaries. In the ovary, I don't know if any guys in here, the ovary is what holds a female's eggs, and that's what causes her period, and that's how she gets pregnant. But they took one of my ovaries, and I really felt as though I had lost a part of me. And not only did I lose a part of me, y'all left this big old scar that I have to live with for the rest of my life. And that took a really toll on my mental because I did not feel whole anymore. I did not feel pretty anymore because I had this big old scar down my stomach. And that was really, really painful. And I had to really tell myself, yes, I can still have kids. I only have one left, one ovary, but I still can get pregnant with that ovary because it's healthy. They did check the other ovary to make sure that there was no cancer on there or anything like that. But I had to really seek help. I have a therapist that's helping me through um, getting over this feeling of missing something, of missing myself, and not feeling pretty anymore. Um, that is the best thing I've could have done as well because people say, "Oh, I don't need a therapist. I'm fine." Everybody needs a therapist. I don't care if you think you're fine or not. It's something that you're gonna need to talk to somebody about. And a lot of people have this thing of holding it in and holding it in. And you can't always hold it in because then you're gonna pop one day. And then everybody gonna be looking at you like you crazy. Um, so yeah, it really took a lot of growing over this year, and last year that I had to do not just for myself but for my family as well. Like everybody's like I said, everybody's eyes was on me and my family. And I had to show them that I was stronger, even when I felt weak, even when I felt like all I wanted to do was cry and curl up. Um, I had to show them that I was strong, and I had to show them that this is not who I want y'all to remember me as. I don't want y'all to remember me as sick. I don't want y'all to remember me as weak. I want y'all to remember me as happy, loving, fun, Um, and like I said, that really took a lot of growing, and I want everybody to look at themselves as a growing flower because that's what we are. We're children. We start off as a seed or a sprout, and we're growing, we're blooming. Um, and I really want y'all to think about your health physically, mentally, spiritually. Your mental is very attached to your spiritual health. And that can mean whether you believe in God as your spiritual health or whether your spiritual is in faith and the universe calls to you. Whatever you think your spirituality is, that is very much attached to your mental. Please take very much care of your mental, physical, and spiritual. Those are the things that keep you going. Um, Also, I want to share that um, the 10th of this 10th, the December 10th, my bad, December 10th, I'm 1 year free of cancer, which is amazing. Um, I'm very grateful for the doctors that helped me. Thank you, Cam. I'm very thankful for the doctors that helped me through surgery, the nurses that came to me in the night when all hell broke loose. Um, Very thankful for them. I really wanted to share this because I didn't want anybody to, suffer in silence. That I'm here. I know your pain. If you need somebody to talk to about any pain you're going through physically, mentally, spiritually, please reach out to me. I'm here. I'm very vocal in what I think is right and what I'm here able sorry, what I'm able to help people with. Um yeah, that's all I really wanted to share. I'm hoping that I didn't take too much time for anybody.
Oh
Um
my, you're fine. Thank you so much, for sharing your story because I didn't know that, and I know a lot of people on here didn't know that. But I definitely believe that you inspired someone to either like encourage one of their peers or one of their family members to say something or even say something themselves, because some a lot of times it's a stigma on like voicing opinions on basically anything. Really, it's stigmas around everything about advocating for there to be more minority doctors, or for you to address your own like health and different things and not be written off and things like that. So I think that was very powerful for for you to share that. But I kind of want to ask some questions because kind of when I was going through, I was kind of curious. So like, what would you say? Like, I know you said making sure that you continue to kind of advocate and voice your concerns and everything like that. But what do you think needs to be done on a bigger scale for things to be more open and acceptable? So because I feel like maybe it's an issue with maybe how doctors or health people who are employed in the health field, maybe it's something that could be a part of their training or something like that for them to be more susceptible to the opinion or the voice of the people that they're actually treating.
I think that as doctors, sometimes people get this God complex when they become doctors, because they feel like they are a step above society. They forget that they're actually humans themselves. So I think that if they had some type of regulation, whether it be uh, a monthly or yearly conversation, how do y'all think y'all have done this year as a doctor? Just informing them to tell them like, hey, listen, yes, you're a doctor. Yes, you have these medical degrees and all this learning, but don't forget you're a human and you have human patients that you need to be more attentive to. You need to be empathetic to, and you need to show that you actually care. The OBGYN that I had that was overlooking me because that's the first doctor I went to, she was very ignorant. And I'm one of those people that my face said before my mouth do. So my face towards her was very, um, ignorant back because she was being ignorant to me. And I had to take myself and be like, listen, you can't keep being this person. You can't keep letting her take you out of your character. You're not like this. So I really had to sit her down and tell her about herself. Like, you can't keep acting like you miss know it all. And that was a rain check for her. She straightened her back. She looked me in my eyes before. She was never doing that. So I think some of these doctors need a reality check, um, and that's an overall thing.
It definitely makes sense. Sid said, "Remember, you don't always have to be strong. It's okay to be soft." Definitely. And Gemma said, remember as a doctor, you don't know everything and that your patient's health matters, but their opinions and feelings matter 1,000% times more.
Yeah.
And I think even tying into Sid's comment, I think it's really going back to that stigma piece is a big stigma around like black women being the strong ones, like thinking about the things that we face in community and like, we eventually will be mothers and we're just a real big attribute in family, community, and everything like that. And normally we're labeled as the people that have to be strong, like, when things are
Yeah.
going on, we have to get back up and like recover fast because, just is supposed to be something that's in our nature. So I don't know what you think about that.
I think that that's very true. I think that um this nation was built on the back of a black woman, and that's have yet to change, and that's something that definitely needs to be improved. I think that this society as a whole needs a lot of improvement, but I also think that when women try to speak about themselves, especially black women, we get labeled as the angry black girl, and I'm like, well, you're dang on right. I'm angry. I'm not being seen. I'm not being treated right. I'm being overlooked. Why wouldn't I be angry? And I hate that label that they put on us. It's really um very annoying. And like, why wouldn't I be angry? If you were dealing with the stuff that I have to deal with on a daily basis, you would be angry too, but you wouldn't get labeled the angry black woman. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of differences between the people in our world. And it's crazy though. I was writing about this in a paper that I recently turned in that, a lot of times the stigmas and things that are in place right now, people created those. So like we think about like society ideals or society standards, but like who is society? The people that's in it. So like the stigmas that's being made are made from us. So if we take more to, try to advocate for different things, thinking about our health, our spiritual, mental health, our physical health, and everything like that, then it won't be as much stigma around talking about it. But like,
Right.
you just gotta keep having that, that action. Gemma put another comment in the chat, and she said, I also think that health professionals develop a lack of empathy because they are consumed with death and traumas within their job. So through time, the traits to not care or be attentive as a doctor is more accepted.
Um I think that emotion makes you a human. I think that if you show no emotion, you experience no emotion, you're not a human, you're a robot. You've been programmed like a robot. Um, and I know honestly, yes, sometimes ignoring your pain or putting up that numb wall is safer to not express your feelings or not seem weak from expressing your feelings. But those emotions make you human. Those connect you to human. We're all human. We all need certain things. That's the human bottom line. Yes, we all different. We all have different needs, but the human bottom line, we all need to connect with somebody, with something, with somebody. And I think those emotions help us do that.
Definitely. And I feel like I even kind of think about not only just the doctors but like the therapists and stuff as well. Or even like 911 operators and stuff, like they do face an overwhelming amount of trauma. Like even though they're not facing the exact same diagnosis that they give out, is
Mhm.
like a part of them is tied to that because they're surrounded with it so much. Is like maybe they need to do some mental health checks or something like that. Like I know you said doing that self-evaluation, making sure that they're doing their part as a doctor or
Mhm.
health professional and things like that. But I think another part of it is just being like I know 911 operators, they have to go and get like a evaluation done or something, like a mental health evaluation because of the trauma. Like doctors, I'm not sure if that already is something in place, but I think that should be something for them too because they do face death. And like even when Dr. P and my sister were on with the COVID town hall that we were having with the doctors,
Mhm.
they was Dr. P was saying that he kept seeing people that were dying from COVID, and like he didn't really seem like super phased by it, but like I think it was just because it was starting to become the norm during that time, and like they don't have that outlet to be like, okay, like now let me go ahead and cry about this, or let me go ahead and express it to that. Like they might go ahead and bring it back to their family or whatever, but like stuff like that can kind of be heavy and weigh have a toll on you. So maybe sometimes that toll kind of, you know, sit and spill over to, you know, other patients when, you know, they write off diagnoses. Maybe in the back of their head, it's just like, maybe I can't handle anymore, you know, giving more diagnoses like this. Maybe it's going to have a toll on me. So I don't know, maybe it could be something implemented for them to kind of have a balance in their profession, but also making sure that they're good. It's kind of like that work-life balance thing, or making sure that they're not even working the entire 12 months or something. Like it has to be some type of system made for, you know, them to break down that lack of empathy, and, you know, writing people off and not making them feel like they're worth it. And I also think they kind of tied to that emotional intelligence piece that Miss Joni always talks about, because like it's really important everywhere, like in leadership positions, and, you know, doctors roles and things like that. You got to know how you feel so you can know how to, you know, treat yourself, or, you know where you can go as far as resources, so you can get the help that you need for you to do your job at the best ability that you can. And sometimes that means taking a break. And I know the pressures be on for like health professionals, because it's a supply and demand thing. A lot of people need help with all versions of health. So I don't know what the exact system would be, but I know it needs to be some type of system. Gemma on fire with the comments today. So she said, but there's a power within any system, and within health, most times they're more worried about money, funds, and status than the health of the people.
Definitely true. Definitely true. I think that when there's any form of power, any form of hierarchy, there's going to be someone there to think they can cheat the system. There's going to be someone there to think they can, oh, my money will get me far, or whatever the case may be of abuse of power. And I think that sometimes there is no way of stopping that, but there's always a way of working around it. When you feel as though your doctor is ignoring you, or somebody, your therapist is ignoring you or not taking you seriously, please be okay to say, I need a new doctor, or I need a new therapist. This one is not working out. Don't be afraid to say it to their face neither. Your health is what matters, not their feelings. Please say, I need another doctor, or can you refer me to another doctor? Speak up, please.
I know one time when Miss England was doing Winning Wednesdays, and it was during a virtual session. She was saying that he was talking about therapists, and she was saying that you got to realize that they work for you. Like ultimately, if it's not working for you, then you got to find someone that it'll work for, because right now if that person not doing what their job is, but whether it's doing more harm than good, then you got to just move on to the next person and actually find your person that's supposed to be your therapist or supposed to be a doctor, because everybody doctor not meant for you. That's why, like, when I think I seen the show one time and it was giving like recommendations for what doctor or therapist they should go to. Every doctor and every therapist doesn't work for everyone, because
Right.
we're, you know, we're different people and we have different needs and different things that need to be treated. And sometimes everything isn't like it's problems we have is where we're broken and we need fixing. Is more of like, I need support in, you know, bettering myself in this area type of thing. So I I don't know. I know it's a bigger challenge ahead for us to kind of get that empathy that we need, and it might be like that trial and error, like Donovan saying. But I don't know. But I think maybe that calls for us to kind of advocate more in that area around health, because anybody can be impacted from it. So
True. Very true.
I think that was. You got anything else, Maya?
I was wondering if you had any more questions.
Oh no, I be asking questions to Deborah. I think I asked all the questions that I had about like how we can make a bigger impact, and you know, you tied into like how people could do more of advocating for themselves and voices like that. But anybody have any questions about like maybe challenges that they faced in the medical field or the health industry, or things that they feel like we can improve, that we can kind of talk about a little bit further? If not, I'm gonna have Maya share her jewel, and if anybody else wants to share any testimonials or anything like that, it can kind of be inspiration, because this was inspirational today for starting out Winning Wednesday off. We only have like 20 minutes, so if somebody does want to come on, or a group of y'all want to come on and talk about abuse of power, or how we can, make some change, let me know, or hit me up for the link. But I really appreciate you coming on, Maya, and hit me up if anybody else want to come on. Like I said, y'all free to.
Thank you for having me. Thank everybody for listening to my story. I really appreciate it, and I hope you definitely take something from this. Don't let me be talking to talk.
Maya, we went to Jewel though.
Okay, I can give you my jewel. I think my jewel is never underestimate yourself or your struggle. Don't think just because somebody is going through something that's bigger than you that discounts your struggle or undermines your struggle. What you're going through is has every right to make you exactly how you feeling. And if you need to take some time, please realize sometimes you need to step back and realize that you need to take that time for yourself. And if you can't figure it out by yourself or you can't work through all the emotions, please seek help. And please make sure that person is right for you.
Definitely.
So that's my
Thank you
two.
so much. You got any comments as far as Gemma comment? Because I know she be throwing her comments in there, and she was saying she don't know if it's just her, but getting healthcare sounds hard, and she's scared about how she's supposed to find a good doctor and stuff once she gets older. And what do you think about the older piece? Because I don't know, for me, I kind of was like, why you gotta do it when you older? I'm thinking about it like right now. How could you
um,
find the best doctor for you?
so I think a good way to start if you have insurance, whether you on your parents' insurance or have your own insurance, you should have an insurance card. And on the back of the card, they have a section for dental, visual, and I think overall health. So you can call those numbers and figure out good places that are close to you, in your area through your zip code. What place would work for you. And when you go there, they'll put you with a doctor, and you can, do a little test period. You can be with them for, let's say, a year, so you can really get the experience of who they are and how they want to treat you and how they look at you. And if you don't like them after that year, please say, can you recommend me to somebody else, or do you have a partner that's in the same field as you, that somebody else I can go to? It's all a trial and error. And please don't wait till you're older. Your health starts now. Your health starts now. Um, but that's a definitely good way to start, on the back of your insurance card. Um, if you don't have an insurance card, I would think that some people, look up the closest hospital to them and then go through the, what's the word called? I can't think of the word. It's a proper word. I can't think of it. But all the doctors that are listed, and you can do general health, and it will show all the doctors, and you can read about them, and their medical history, and you can pick which one out of them you think would be the best fit for you. All hospitals have that. Please, you can go on their website and
Oh, you mean like a directory?
yeah, that. I couldn't think of the word. You can always go in there and pick through and read about the person. Once you get their name, you can also do a Google search about them, and any piece of information that they're involved in will come up, whether it be good or bad. So definitely do your research on your doctors and definitely have that trial period. That's what I think the best thing would be.
Maya, I'm so glad that you brought that up. I never thought about that. Like normally with pediatrics and stuff like that, you just get placed a doctor, and
Mm.
somebody else come in. Like the doctor that I had at first, my mom had and my grandfather had, so he was pretty old. But then like I got a new doctor, and I just had to go with the flow of being switched to new doctor. But I didn't really advocate and say, oh, maybe I should get this person, and maybe my doctor wouldn't be there. So now a intern or somebody is filling in the place. So now I don't know if I necessarily feel comfortable and things like that. But I think it's just so difficult, and thinking about that good doctor, like Jim is saying, and that advocating for yourself and making sure what do you even need to be a good doctor to me, figuring out like what your needs are as far as their different types of help is like it's something difficult, but I think it's something that we definitely can work through. So
Yeah, and never be in a space that you feel uncomfortable. I know that a lot of hospitals, especially in Baltimore, are teaching hospitals. So they'll have students come in the room with the doctor as they're assessing you or treating you, and that can make people feel very uncomfortable because they feel like all the eyes are watching you, and that's a very vulnerable place. Being in the hospital is very vulnerable, and if you don't feel comfortable with the medical student or a certain doctor being in the room, by all means tell them to leave. Say, I don't feel comfortable, can you please get them to leave? That's never should be an option for you to be sitting down in a space where you're trying to get help and be uncomfortable. Yeah, that's it.
definitely. Thank you so much again, Maya. I know you shared your jewel and I heard you share your comments after. So thank you again for coming on, sharing your story, and necessarily definitely making an impact on us here. I know everybody in the chat saying thank you. But I just wanted to reiterate, thank you for coming on. We only got 15 minutes left, so I'm gonna go ahead and probably share some stuff or talk for a little bit, and see what we can talk about. So, thank you, Maya.
No problem. Thank all y'all for having me. Nice to see all y'all again. Bye.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. So Q ain't here today, but I seen Gemma put her comment. Can you stop messing with my lights? To go. Q ain't here today, y'all, but Gemma said, yeah, my doctor I had when I was younger passed, so now I just have a new doctor. And it was weird at first because I was used to one doctor and we weren't notified that I had a new doctor. And that was the same for me, but like I got my doctor switched while we was in COVID. So it's just weird. Like, I don't know, it's just difficult, having a new doctor that I don't really know and then people being switched in and out. Like you build relationships with people that treat you for health. So yeah, I definitely feel you. It's weird. And I didn't know that hospitals had directories for doctors where you can kind of like pick or kind of scan through like their experience and stuff like that. Because I feel like that definitely would be so much more helpful. On campus we have like I think all of the doctors there. I've never had a white doctor at Spelman. I think they're all black doctors there. So it definitely make it more comfortable to go in there and get treated because I'm like maybe you have some experience with people that look like me, and our health issues aren't the same as the issues of other races, and we face trauma in a different aspect or a different way than other races do. I feel like maybe sometimes I don't want no backlash from this. So if you're on YouTube, I don't want no backlash from this, but I feel like the black race is the most traumatized race. Like we've been going through trauma for a long time and in heavy aspects too. And this is not to discount or disgrade anybody anybody's trauma, but I think that we've been one of the most traumatized races, being completely honest. So yeah, yo, I don't know what specifically y'all want to touch on, what y'all feeling to talk about in this last remaining time, because I'm gonna give y'all all the way until 7 o'clock. But yeah, I kind of I think I got some, y'all. So what do y'all think about I know when this might be something that people touch on, the treatment around ADHD. Q. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I had Q come in here because he wanted to be in my room and now he making all this noise. Matter of fact, Q, come over here and turn the table off. Turn the table off. Come here. All right, y'all. So one thing that I kind of want to tap onto, probably for like 5 minutes or so, because I know we kind of slowly winding down on time, is ADHD. How like black people are commonly diagnosed with ADHD, and sometimes I feel like it is a right diagnosis for some people, but I think it's a over diagnosis, if that makes sense, on black kids with ADHD. I don't know. What's your thoughts? I want to kind of see what your thoughts is before I kind of just start talking. Bree, no, he was not just trying to do his tablet. He over here coming here making noise. Q, come say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Tell everybody. Tell everybody what your name is. Spell your name out.
MONQ.
No, you skipped it.
QUE.
Yeah, he spelled it MONAQUE. And
And
how old are you?
5.
Q in here on his tablet, y'all, and he wanted to be a part of the live so bad. So I just had him come in my room because he was so excited. My mother on live downstairs. So, what y'all think though? About ADHD. Gemma said in my history class we're covering slavery, but it's really burning me up because they cutting so much stuff out, and I don't like it. And then I feel as though my teacher isn't explaining it correctly. Gemma, I wish you could kind of go into my class, my ADW class at Spelman. And Spelman, we got this mandatory class, and sometimes it really is just so like overwhelming because it's history that we weren't taught in school. So a lot of girls in my class, they went to PWIs previously. So a lot of it, they really don't know anything. And shh. A lot of the history they really don't know. But then also we get into like people like me that went to public schools and get the whitewash version of history too. I'm thinking about who created the system and everything like that. It wasn't made for people of color because the history curriculum that we're taught is just not the right thing, and we're not taught life skills and everything like that, and it's difficult. But in ADW we basically go over a lot of different things. So going back to when basically ADW is African diaspora in the world. It's African diaspora in the world, and we basically talk about where we've had trade at, where Black people came from, thinking about everyone not just coming from the continent of Africa, but coming from different places. Think about Afro-Caribbean people. It's just a lot of different things that you can tap on. Black people. Maybe I can send you some notes or something like that. But in college, especially at the HBCU, I feel like you learn a lot more about Black people and the Black experience. So yeah, it's hard to explain it because I'm not an ADW teacher, but it's African diaspora in the world. We learned a lot of different things and a lot of different terminology about our own race. So I'm gonna see if I can find some notes. I really don't even want to tap into Spelman right now, but it's gonna be different. Like in college, you might learn a different version of history than you do in classes. And I know you were saying things that you feel like that I think it was the flyer that going around. You were saying what things we need to change in Baltimore City Public Schools. Everybody, make sure y'all go ahead and fill that flyer out. The form that's on that flyer. I'm gonna get your concerns out there to Dr. Santelises, so we can go ahead and get some things changed in Baltimore City Public Schools, because definitely I'm on live. You're making too much noise. It's definitely a lot of things that need to be bridged in the education curriculum, and things that we need to learn. Yeah, I'm not gonna tap into my break, but is it like world history, but for predominantly? Yeah. So basically, we don't necessarily talk about world history. We just talk about how history has impacted Black people, and we don't talk about it in a degrading way, because Gemma, that AP US history, that's the whitewash version of history. When I didn't pace my APUSH exam. I wasn't even sweating it when I was talking to Miss Mo, because it just was like, this isn't not even my history, and I don't feel attached to what I learned in history. But yeah, we just learned about everything Black history, and it's not degrading, it's empowering. We were talking about like Nubian queens and things like that, and the roles that we played, about griots, about storytelling and different things of that nature. We learn a lot, and it can be heavy because it's not something that I'm used to, but you definitely learn a lot more about the Black culture than you do, and he kind of tying into some things that's modern too. I don't know, maybe next year or something I can see if he want to come on a session and kind of do like a mini lesson or something to see what I mean. But yeah, that's all I can really say because I'm not like an expert on ADW. I only had it one semester. But I think maybe too, Gemma, maybe you can kind of not the racist white man poem. Not the racist white man poem. Gemma, maybe you can kind of like encourage your teacher, right? You can talk to your teacher and be like, can we find ways where we can, or one day of the week, despite the we required to take it to so it's not it's not like we gotta choose to take it. We gotta take the class for us to go to our next set of classes. But Gemma, I think you could can you turn it down just a little bit? You can go ahead and talk to your teacher and be like, look, can I teach a lesson about this version of Black history? Or like me and my peers, can we teach this aspect of U.S. history, but from like a Black perspective? Because you feel like you're not getting representation in what you learned from class. You don't feel disconnected to the class. And sometimes, I don't know, it depends on what type of teacher it is. They'll feel disrespected or something like that, but it just also goes to show what type of teacher it is, like I said. So just try to encourage them and say, like, maybe one day out the week or like half a class period, can I go ahead and teach about the Black history and U.S. history or something like that. And I know AP classes normally just prepare you for the exam, which is, I don't know, it's kind of stupid, but I think you could go ahead and encourage them to be like, look, I want to be more connected. In order for me to be more successful in this class, I want to do blah, 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 blah. And, I think my other peers may enjoy it as well because Baltimore City Public Schools is predominantly Black. So, if you're not feeling connected to the class, neither are your peers too. So I think that's my advice on that. But I think we definitely need to talk more about diversities. I'll be back with y'all in another 2 weeks. Today is the 15th, so I'll be with y'all again the 29th. And I kind of want to talk about some of that goal setting next time and how we can improve things we need to change as far as like self-growth and self-improvement. I know a lot of y'all on here. I need my self-care influencers, aka Sid, or people like Soul or people like Jim on here. So I want to have a session where we can just talk about all things self. Lene can come on too. I know she's doing her vision board thing. And, we can all come on here and have a conversation on things we need to do better next year. It can be anything self-improvement. But yeah, I know we're coming on the close, y'all. It's 6:59. So I'm going to go ahead and share my jewel. And I'm going to go based off what I was, what was going on with me for the past couple days. And I would just say, reiterating my jewel from earlier on my story, I would say just be open and be transparent to things that you hear or conversations that you have. Just making sure that you're being the most open and the most transparent that you can be. So I hope that y'all enjoy Winning Wednesday today. I hope that y'all appreciated Maya coming on, sharing her story, and I hope that y'all can come on and share more of your stories. Want to always hit me or Coach up about coming on the session. I love y'all so much, and I hope that y'all have an amazing night. See y'all.